sidestepping, it's a brick.
That's not a woman. That's not a female. That's not even a trans person. That is a man. Like, that's a legit biological man.
Are you ready for flight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brittney Griner appeared to call Caitlin Clark trash and effing.
Brittney Griner voiced frustration in a recent interview, claiming that Caitlin Clark is ruining.
Brittney Griner elbowing Caitlin Clark in a crazy way and then calling her a trash white girl.
First things first is, like, there's a lot of AI detections in these things. Like, you can't post anything like that on social media.
But we have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing.
2 minutes ago, the WNBA took a step no one expected. Brittney Griner has reportedly been banned following explosive controversy surrounding her gender identity. And in a shocking twist, Caitlin Clark's name is now being dragged into the firestorm.
Brittney Griner voiced frustration in a recent interview, claiming that Caitlin Clark is ruining what used to make the WNBA great. Wait for this.
Empty stands?
Tom, let me just...
Go ahead, I'm so mad.
WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now, it's like there's a large gathering of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score like we're there for their entertainment. And that's pretty gross.
What began as a fierce on-court rivalry has erupted into something far more serious. One leaked video, one viral theory, and a wave of accusations have pulled the league into a scandal it can no longer ignore.
It wasn't until yesterday that I saw a video of her speak, and it just hit me. I was like, wait, that's not a woman. That's not a female. That's not even a trans person. That is a man. Like, that's a legit biological man.
The footage, disturbing, the silence, deafening, and the consequences, potentially irreversible. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about biology, bias, and the truth the WNBA doesn't want to face. Buckle up, because what just happened has sent shockwaves through the sport, and it's only just beginning. It all started with a controversial on-court moment, one that quickly spiraled into something much bigger than a game.
This video actually resurfaced. It's an Instagram story from, I believe it says 109 weeks ago. I can't see from here, but over 2 years ago, that this video was recorded and it was recently leaked on Twitter. So Kelly, if we can go ahead and play this video, please, and then we'll have a discussion.
By you, Brittney. Let me see something real quick. Brick! Thank you! Get the fuck!
Damn.
Look at the chest.
Yo! Sidestepping, it's a brick. Swing and a miss!
It's very clearly Brittney.
I ain't gonna fake it right now.
They called him/her by their name. And as you can clearly see here, his bare chest is completely exposed. Now, there's a couple of different things here. First things first is, like, there's a lot of AI detections in these things. Like, you can't post anything like that on social media without it being detected.
During a heated matchup involving Caitlin Clark and the Phoenix Mercury, Brittney Griner's physical presence on the court sparked fresh outrage online. A clip showing Griner towering over Clark and making contact during a post-up move began circulating.
Brittney Griner, who I can't stand, sad that she's a Baylor grad. She called her a trash expletive white girl. That was the lip reading. Yes, trash white girl. Trash blanking white girl is what she says.
With users pointing not just to the intensity of the play, but to Griner's gender identity itself. What was originally framed as a physical mismatch quickly became something else entirely. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from basketball strategy to accusations and speculation.
The WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism.
But it is completely possible that fucking white girl was about Caitlin Clark's popularity, about her stature, about her impact on the entire league.
Social media lit up with people questioning whether Griner should be allowed to play in the WNBA at all, with hashtags like Joshua Griner Gate and unfair play trending within hours. What had been whispered for years was now being shouted, loud, viral, and without filter.
Let's see an investigation into reverse racism that's going on across the league also.
She has been abused repeatedly. We have shown you videos, just getting elbowed, getting crushed, inbound passes where they ram into her, just absolutely abused, and there clearly is a racial element to it.
Then came the backlash. Fans defending Clark, many of whom are new to the league thanks to her popularity, began circulating claims that the league was turning a blind eye to gender advantages, fueling conspiracy theories that Griner's dominance came from more than just skill. It was ugly, polarizing, and deeply personal. And for the first time, the WNBA found itself squarely in the middle of a cultural firestorm it couldn't ignore.
He was defending Brittney Griner and saying that she should be released. And he was shocked that that was indeed the Brittney Griner, because it was definitely a man.
As the outrage reached fever pitch, a leaked report began circulating, one that allegedly confirmed the league had taken internal disciplinary action against Griner. Terms like temporary suspension and code of conduct violation were thrown around, though no official statement was released. That silence only added fuel to the fire. People wanted answers.
Flag you, Brittney. Let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Jab stepping, Mr. Brick. Swing and a miss. Oh! Yo, I ain't gonna fake it right now.
That this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram.
Was Griner banned? Was it due to the viral footage or something deeper? And why was Caitlin Clark's name suddenly being dragged into a debate about biology and fairness? One thing was clear. This wasn't just about a foul or a hard screen. It was about identity, about pressure, and about a league now being forced to confront a conversation it had long tried to avoid.
That this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram. And when it comes to Instagram, they use a combination of like AI detection and plus manual surveyors, but specifically the AI detection to make sure that no explicit content ends up on the platform. So clearly whatever AI detection system was used when Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks was not like, oh, this is a bare female chest, we have to take this down. It obviously assumed that Brittney was male. And
as the controversy exploded, what made everything even more volatile was the way Caitlin Clark's name got pulled deeper into the storm. She didn't say anything. She didn't post. But the moment that clip of Griner bodying her on court went viral, the narrative shifted fast. Suddenly, Clark was being framed as the victim in a battle she never asked for.
Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching on purpose. It's very disruptive.
Her supporters flooded the internet with messages suggesting that what happened on the court wasn't just physical, it was unfair, unsafe, and borderline abusive. Some even began calling for protections for female players who face biological disadvantages against athletes like Griner.
Brittney is a weird case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not in the way that you think. He isn't trans. He's a straight cis male who was raised as a girl and given a girl's name by his parents. His mother is the insane one. She forced him to live as a female right up through high school, filled out all of his paperwork, including BC as female, and kept the charade going.
That language? Explosive. It painted Griner as a threat, not just competitively, but existentially. And without a word from Caitlin herself, the divide between fan bases deepened. Supporters of Clark argued that this incident exposed an imbalance in the league. Meanwhile, defenders of Griner slammed the narrative as toxic, transphobic, and rooted in decades of bias that women athletes have long endured.
He actually made a racial attack on Caitlin Clark.
Brittney Griner, was it racist?
She probably says trash. Like, it sounds like she has said. It looks like what it apparently says is effing white girl.
And caught right in the middle of it all? The WNBA. League officials have so far refused to make any formal statements, but insiders claim the front office is in full crisis mode. Meetings have reportedly been held, damage control strategies are being floated, and most importantly, Griner's status is now under review. The whispers got louder. Did they ban her? One league source hinted that she was asked to step back from team activities until further notice.
And the next thing you know, the market's like, oh my God, she's protected. Oh, it's all because she's white and all this other stuff. And then Angel Reese comes out and she's saying all these things. And then Jameel Hill comes out. Rob, I don't know if you have this clip or not. Jameel Hill comes out and says Angel Reese at the end of her career is going to end up being, calls Angel Reese.
Others claim it's a soft suspension meant to cool the outrage without confirming blame. But no one's confirming anything, and that's making it worse. Because now every silence feels like guilt. Every delay in communication adds to the conspiracy. And with Clark's meteoric rise putting unprecedented attention on the league, fans and media alike are demanding transparency. And let's be clear, this isn't about stats anymore. This isn't about who scored more points or who played tougher defense. This is about identity politics.
First things first is like there's a lot of AI detections in these things. Like you can't post anything like that on social media without it being detected. And so, I mean, whatever AI detection, glanced over this thing, did not flag it. Like they clearly was like, okay, this is just a man with their chest exposed.
About how one player's dominance became another player's lightning rod, and about how the WNBA, after years of asking for visibility, is now struggling to survive the weight of it. What makes this moment even more intense is the history surrounding both players. Brittney Griner has always been a towering figure, literally and symbolically, in women's basketball. From dominating at Baylor to becoming a WNBA champion and an Olympic gold medalist, she's been celebrated, scrutinized, and sometimes even politicized.
Brittney Griner is a weird case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not the way you think. He isn't trans, he's straight.
A straight cis
sorry,
male.
Sorry, it's not a typical word. Sorry.
Yeah, made up words, it's okay.
He's a straight cis man who was raised as a girl and given a girl's name by his parents. His mother is the insane one. She forced him to live as a female right through high school, filled out all his paperwork, including BC as a female, kept the charade going. He played on a girls' sports teams because his paper said that he was a girl. He had to keep pretending in college to stay on the women's teams. He had to keep just barely pretending to stay in the WNBA now. But all other ways he lives life as a man. He wears men's clothes, dates, and is married to women.
Add in her high-profile detainment in Russia and return to the league. And she's not just an athlete, she's a cultural symbol. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has become the face of the new era, a rising star who brought millions of new eyes to the WNBA. Clark is often seen as a beacon of hope for the league's commercial success. But with that spotlight comes pressure and controversy. The second she entered the pros, every interaction, every foul, and every opponent became amplified.
She is a supernova a level of fame with one-of-a-kind talent, and it is game-changing for the entire league.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
Caitlin Clark is Indiana Fever's leading scorer at over 19 points a game. Caitlin Clark is undeniably the offensive engine.
You cannot deny the impact that she's made on this sport.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura.
So when those two stories collided in that viral moment, it was like gasoline meeting fire. Fans took sides, narratives spun out of control, and the league, already stretched by growing pains, found itself paralyzed. Whether or not Griner has officially been banned, one thing is now undeniable. The WNBA can no longer avoid these conversations about gender, about fairness, about the clash between tradition and transformation.
The Brittney Griner, because it was definitely a man. Okay? A man who's an Adam's apple, deep masculine voice. And there's just no, and a size 17 shoe. So I looked up another interview from when Brittney Griner was in 8th grade, and she sounded like any teenage boy would sound.
And as the dust continues to settle, one thing is clear. This isn't just a media moment. It's a defining chapter in the future of women's basketball. And just like that, the WNBA is standing at a crossroads, one it never wanted, but can no longer ignore. Brittney Griner, once a pillar of the league, now finds herself at the center of a firestorm that questions not just her place in the game, but the very rules that govern it.
Brittney Griner voiced frustration in a recent interview, claiming that Caitlin Clark is ruining what used to make the WNBA great.
Brittney was male and therefore being topless on the platform was totally fine. It did not constitute as nudity. Now, some people may speculate, okay, well, is Brittney trans?
Was it the real reason why she got detained and arrested? Because Russia definitely is not alphabet mafia friendly at all. And I'm not saying that she deserves to be arrested for that, but it makes me wonder if that was the real reason and they found out that she was actually a man, a biological man.
The amount of people in yellow 22 apparel is stunning.
Caitlin Clark didn't ask for this battle, but her meteoric rise has placed her name at the heart of a national debate. This isn't just about fouls or headlines anymore. It's about identity, fairness, and the future of a league trying to balance legacy with change. The silence from the league is deafening. The questions are louder than ever, and the fans, they're demanding answers. If you believe it's time the WNBA finally speaks up, drop a basketball in the comments, like subscribe and turn on notifications because this story is far from over. And what happens next could reshape everything we thought we knew about the game. This wasn't just a moment, it was a reckoning.